Imagine one supermarket that sells all the world's coffee, and then suddenly your favorite barista opens a second shop down the street that promises better espresso for some drinks and cheaper drip for others. That's what just happened in AI compute land. Nvidia still towers like a skyscraper, worth roughly $4.4 trillion, but AMD just scored a deal that moves it from also-ran to credible challenger almost overnight. Why this is not just another press release. If you watch only the ticker and headlines, you'll see jumps and percentages. But the underlying game is about who controls the supply of the most power-hungry ingredient of modern AI, GPUs and the servers that host them. The recent multi-year agreement between AMD and OpenAI to deploy gigawatts of AMD GPUs is precisely the kind of structural event that changes the dynamic of that supply and the balance of bargaining power. The companies announced a plan for a multi-generation deployment, totaling 6 gigawatts, with an initial 1 gigawatt rollout of AMD Instinct MI450 GPUs beginning in the second half of 2026. That's big. Like, industrial-scale coffee roastery big. The oligopoly, what it was and what it's becoming. For years the AI compute market has been a tight club. Nvidia built an almost unassailable lead with its GPUs, software stack, and partner ecosystem. Think delicious coffee, one roast sold everywhere. That concentration created tailwinds for model builders but also a single point of dependency headache for hyperscalers. Now imagine that same barista teaming up with a wholesale roaster and a toaster manufacturer and saying, "We'll diversify the roast sources." OpenAI's tie-ups, first with Broadcom for custom silicon and now with AMD for multi-gigawatt GPU supply, are signals that the big AI customers want multiple vendors in the stack to hedge supply, price, and geopolitical risk. The OpenAI plus AMD deal, why it matters structurally. At face value, OpenAI will deploy AMD GPUs, is an engineering procurement line item. But scale it, 6 gigawatts of GPU power is not a few racks, it's a fleet of data centers worth of compute. That's a structural redistribution of demand. If the market used to flow almost exclusively to one vendor, now compute demand gets allocated across more suppliers, which softens pricing power and accelerates competition in hardware design, performance per watt, total cost of ownership, and software compatibility. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Concrete point: when a hyperscaler or an AI-first company like OpenAI signs a multi-year, multi-generation agreement, they're not just buying chips, they're underwriting a supplier's roadmap, capacity, R&D, packaging, firmware. That's a revenue predictability trade-off. The chipmaker gives part of its upside away, long-term contracts and possibly lower spot margins, in exchange for contractual, recurring, long-term revenue, which investors often value more highly than lumpy product cycles. This is exactly what AMD appears to be doing, moving some of its revenue mix from cyclic spot sales toward contractual, durable streams tied to AI infrastructure deployments, a strategic realignment that changes the company's income profile and the calculus for investors. AMD's recent numbers, the fuel behind the excitement. Numbers talk. AMD's Q2 2025 report showed net income rising 229% year-over-year, with revenue up strongly, double digits in key segments, and data center revenue growing as the company leaned into EPYC CPUs and GPU shipments. Those are the kinds of percent moves that make analysts stamp upside on price targets. AMD reported $7.685 billion revenue for the quarter, and the net income figure that jumped 229% is real. That's one major reason Wall Street started bumping their models and why you're hearing price target chatter. Some analysts are eyeing a $300 target. AI circular economy. What the heck does that mean? Okay, fancy phrase incoming. AI circular economy. Picture this as an ecosystem where chipmakers, hyperscalers, cloud operators, and AI developers are all investors and customers for each other in a rotating handshake of capital and compute. chipmakers design and supply accelerators and also sell long-term capacity contracts to hyperscalers. Hyperscalers buy chips and install them in data centers, but they also invest in models and platform services that increase demand for compute. AI companies build models, and maybe offer APIs, that consume compute and generate revenues that can be reinvested into more capacity. The AMD OpenAI deal is a textbook example. OpenAI secures multi-generation hardware, reducing its supply risk. AMD gets long-term, predictable revenue and an R&D partner. Hyperscalers and cloud partners get alternative suppliers that lower systemic risk. Money and compute start to flow in circles instead of straight lines. Each party cross-funds the other's growth. That's the circular economy in one sentence, and it's crucial because it reduces the chance of a monopoly chokehold on the compute pipeline. Picture a farmer's market. For years, everyone bought almonds from Stall A, NVIDIA. Stall A's almonds were excellent, and everyone loved them, but if Stall A had a shortage, no almonds for anyone. Next thing you know, Stall B, AMD, sets up a shiny stall with competitively priced almonds, different roast profiles, and a multi-year contract with a big cafe chain, OpenAI. The cafe says, "We'll buy from you for years if you guarantee supply." Stall B invests in better drying racks and hires a master roaster. Stall C, Broadcom, starts selling almond butter with a custom recipe, too. Now the market is more robust, cafes can mix suppliers, taste profiles diversify, and the market is less hostage to Stall A's inventory. That's what's happening in AI compute. Strategic trade-offs, what AMD gave and what it got. To win these contracts, AMD typically trades two things: near-term spot margin. Big multi-year deals often come with negotiated pricing that smooths revenue but trims some product-level margin. Equity-like upside. Instead of a one-time sale that could spike with booms, AMD gets recurring contractual revenue. In exchange, AMD gets scale, predictable cash flow, co-design opportunities, influence on future chip features, and validation that can translate into orders from other customers. For investors who prefer predictable revenue growth, think of income investors versus swing traders, this is attractive. Analysts' price target upgrades reflect this shift in perceived durability of AMD's cash flow, hence the $300 chatter. Note this as well. And he saith unto me, Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Revelation 22 verses 10-14. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all his commandments, he has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let him be your guide, for he will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.